I saw this lovely little octopus emerging in a Decalcomania underseascape that I printed with a jelly plate. Want to see how it developed? Stay tuned. Hello jelly fans! Today I am printing some Decalcomania effects on the jelly plate, and I am then working them out as usual. One of the two prints, however, refuses to be worked out the way I want it. A real fail. You'll see that later. I am printing with acrylics today and dilute them with water for the desired effect. These are golden open acrylics, but you can use any acrylic color, especially this time as it must be diluted with water and therefore stays wet on the jelly plate longer. I am creating the effect directly on a watercolor paper here, and I'll show you this in real time so that you can see better how I am creating the wave effect. Lift the page just a little bit, go down again, press it on ever so slightly from the back, lift it up again, and repeat. And you go over the whole page slowly like that. Practice it a bit, you'll get a feel for it soon. So I have the desired wave effect on the paper already, and it is beautiful, but I want it a bit more irregular and provokes certain patterns that inspire me. That's why I take a Duralar sheet. You can also use Yupo or any kind of non-absorbent paper, and press it on the watercolor paper to further move the paint around. Working through the page just like before, lifting and pushing down again. As the Duralar is transparent, you can follow the procedure better here. It looks just what I wanted it to. And can you see the animal that I saw immediately? Maybe you see other animals in there. Doing the same thing for the second print. Here you can see quite a bit of resist, but that doesn't influence the print too much. This time I am lifting off with the Yupo paper, taking it as my final print paper, and you'll see later why this was a big mistake. I wanted to show you this fail anyway, to show you that I fail completely sometimes too. It is a perfectly interesting print, and the resist created some very nice air holes, or whatever. The working out of this one failed completely, but I'll show you the developing of the other print first. I saw that octopus immediately, and I actually get quite excited when I see something interesting, and I can't stop until the animal and the undersea landscape come to life. I am working with colored pencils, still my favorite medium for developing prints. Later I'll employ other mediums too. I surround the animal shape with white pencil first, then erase the white by and by and make a stark rim, and at the same time work out shadows. The snout of the octopus sits behind some corals. But actually, I don't think it is really the snout, as you never know in an octopus where is the back and where's the front. I get confused. Please don't look up images of an octopus now. I cannot guarantee that this is even close to realistic. I always get confused where its head and mouth is. Of course, I know it, but I'm not sure if the octopus knows it. At least not this one. Sorry, this is a little bit out of focus. I just wanted to show you how I designed the eyes. I wanted them to look like really an old mask that the octopus is wearing. Look at the top of this print. I almost cannot believe what the paint did here. A perfect water surface with clouds and lights beaming through them. It is so breathtaking sometimes what the paint can give you. I only have to enhance the beams and cloud shapes a little. Sorry for jumping around in the painting. That is just my style. My eye gets caught by a structure and I let go of what I just did and start the next area. As I am filming this, I try to work out one area until it's finished, but I found that I have to follow my imagination immediately when it sets in. I'm better at this following my intuition right away. I hope this doesn't annoy you too much. Highlights on the animal are needed to tell it better from the background. I thought of painting the whole animal with a different color, for example with a transparent watercolor layer, but I decided otherwise. I like monochrome images a lot, and for an octopus it is of course the natural thing to do to blend in with the background. Here I am giving him some orange patterns though, otherwise it would really be too boring. Now for the corals, because that's what I want them to be. The color is called Coral 2, so I have a go at that. And they need some highlights too, at least in the foreground. Here I am testing a white fabric marker as a highlight maker. I really like the madness of it, the madness, not the madness. And that I can take paint off straight afterwards if it's too bright for my liking. I do that with my finger. And now testing a chalk marker, also in white. Perfect to enhance the sunbeams a little more. Down where the print gets a little boring, I add some interest by just shaping with shadows. I don't create highlights here as I don't want the focus and the viewer's attention to go to this area. This is also a fabric marker, and I couldn't resist the idea to let the eyes glow a little orangey. And finally, I wanted some water drops underwater, which is a contradiction in itself, meaning oxymoron. This is where the print got a little out of control. It irritated me a lot, but then I had the idea of turning it into a crashing wave. Don't know if I saved it that way. So this is it. And although this rather reminds me of a painting you would make for a child, I like it a lot. The other print, which I printed on some paper that is much like Yupo paper, was a catastrophe to try to work out. The problem is that the rather thick acrylic paint layer sits on top completely, because the paper is non-absorbent, and it is therefore not really possible to work on it with my colored pencils. They only work when parts of the paint have sunken into the paper. It is okay to go over the parts where the highlights have to sit, with markers or dry acrylics, but when I am taking back some of the acrylic paint, it partly picks up the blue paint and ruins an area. I mean, look at this. The pencil just doesn't look right. And the thin marker works great, but for broader areas, I just couldn't find anything that was satisfying. My secret weapon, the chalk marker? Nope, doesn't look good. Here you can see what the acrylic paint did to the sitting underneath acrylic paint. It was really terrible. Then I even tried to erase some highlights, which works just partly, but there's no real control over that. In the end, I covered the whole thing with some medium to protect the paint, but I still have the problem that I don't like painting an acrylic border area on it. The effect is just simply not what I wanted. I will leave this be for now. Maybe you have some brilliant idea that will save this one. I'm not giving up on this one yet. Tell me in the comments. Well, I hope you enjoyed both processes and feel inspired to try something like this yourself. I'm telling you, there's nothing more gratifying than working with something that your imagination saw in a seemingly chaotic print. And to tease you for the next one, this is a little preview to my other Decalcomania trial, with different colors and luckily different papers. See ya!